video, I'm going to be covering all the changes in this episode of One Punch Man Season 3, and it's a pretty good episode. I watched it on 0.5 times speed, and I actually needed to this time. So if you want to help me spot all the differences in the next episode, then, just join the Discord. We can yap, talk about the differences, and also we're building a small community there, and it's pretty wholesome. But with all that being said, I hope you enjoy the video. Minor complaint here, the hologram he's looking at is loads and loads of 2D images laid down on top of each other, but in the manga we can see that the levels have thickness to their floors, giving the hologram a bit more kick. Not to mention the fact that Child Emperor in the anime isn't actually looking at the hologram properly. He's kind of looking just above it instead of directly at the main body of it. It's not a difference, but I actually really admire how well JC Staff has been able to visualize at least the architecture in the Monster Association. It's 1 pro. In the anime, he's supposed to fall to the ground in this shot with blood spraying up, and we're supposed to get a little bit more detail on Octo Tank number 8. This shot here is far more zoomed in on the laptop, making it really clear as to what he's talking about. Here it's like a small part of the screen and we slowly zoom in on it. In the manga, it's pretty clear that the kind of a cord he uses to get the information from Metal Knight's chassis is supposed to be like zipping in like, a cable on a Hoover. But, it just isn't right now for some reason. It's not animated. We're supposed to get a zoomed in shot of his pocket while he takes out what he's taking out. Then cut to him opening up his lollipop, which is supposed to have a transparent plastic over it, not this solid like plastic. This perspective shot is slightly different than it is in the manga. It's supposed to be like over the shoulder, yeah, but it's supposed to be top down, showing that Phoenix Man is way taller than Child Emperor. So Phoenix Man's design is a little different for some reason. We're supposed to get like a more thinner, beefy Phoenix Man. His feathers are supposed to be far more tight to his body, and his neck is supposed to be far more sleek than it is in the manga. See, the manga, he kind of looks fuzzy, like it's fur. But in the manga, as I said, it's far tighter. This shot of him using his wing to point towards Child Emperor is entirely original. The anime, it's not in the manga at all. Instead, Phoenix Man starts to fly in the air for just a step before using his beak attack. Child Emperor is supposed to push his barrier away like a curtain, and then we're supposed to cut to the reaction shot of Phoenix Man's beak being damaged from the impact. Instead, they have Child Emperor take it down in the same shot as the beak reaction. Obviously, when Phoenix Man gets diced up, it's far more gruesome in the manga than it is the anime, because Jesus Christ. But we've known censorship has been an issue with this manga, and we've seen it multiple times in this episode already, so this is no surprise. Child Emperor is supposed to turn around and walk away when he says thank you. It feels better now, mommy. This angle is slightly different than in the manga. His tools are like different variations of tools than in the manga, but to be honest, that doesn't realistically matter too much. Dude, Child Emperor like low-key is the biggest aura fiber in One Punch Man. In the manga, he doesn't use the umbrella to protect him or the kid from the fire. He simply puts his arm up and books it as soon as he possibly can. Here, the tank isn't supposed to turn its tracks to shoot. It's supposed to turn the cannon and shoot a blast that is then parried by our mystery assailant. But to be fair, not that big a deal. And if you cut down the frame slowly, you do see that the cannon shoots first. It just doesn't point up to shoot at him like it does in the manga. In the manga, we see a shot of Child Emperor taking out his flute, then blowing on it as he squats down, and all the rockets fire from his backpack behind him. In the anime, we already see the flute in Child Emperor's mouth, and then he jumps into that position. The pattern in which Machine God cuts through the power line is slightly different. It's supposed to be an entire rotation. That's a perfect circle, but here we can see it's more of an oval that doesn't exactly get completed. Also, his design seems to be slightly different here. We're seeing a lot of X's on his armor that aren't present in the manga. I'm not sure if this is a new design for the character in the manga, just for this section of story. By the way, a really neat transformation, personally, I think. The comedy panel is obviously like a good bit different. Much harder lines on the outlines of the characters, which, to be fair, I don't dislike. I quite like it. We get far less detail of G1's design, and also the little prick of a kid is supposed to be looking at the robots like, huh? The angle in which they use for transformation is less detailed, but to be very fair, it is actually not bad whatsoever. We cut to this shot behind the robot before the proper Mad Dog reaction, but to be fair, that's what they cut to after before. But in the manga, that same shot that was used later is far more wide shot and from behind towards the ground. Also, this shot of G1 drawing his sword is supposed to be at a above angle shot before we cut to this long angle shot. The X's on the manga's design are back where they were before. It's like X's and equal signs. So we know that the anime was just correcting that mistake on Murata's part. When he's crossing the swords, it is in a slightly different pose and camera angle than in the manga. The pose that G1 gets stuck in is entirely different than it is in the manga. This is like far more linear. His arm's supposed to be across his face and he's supposed to try pull that arm apart rather than just raising both shoulders and arms to try get out. This pose with Wild Dog is slightly different as well, mainly because it's a very vertical panel, so it can only include so much of the detail that they previously included. See, Wild Dog is supposed to be far more imposing in the panel than he is here. We're supposed to be visually able to see the chains on his 3 heads here, but because it's the same color as his fur, in quotation marks, it really doesn't stand out as much. Also, G1 is supposed to be way smaller in the panel, as I said, to help Wild Dog feel more imposing. They deliver far more dialogue in this shot than they do in the manga. The manga, he literally just says, yeah, get him. And while the Child Emperor goes, shut the hell up, we're getting out of here. And then we actually skip over any reaction from Machine God for some reason, from cut content. This close-up of Child Emperor running is also not in the manga. Instead, we're cut straight to this temple-like area where the two of them are running down the hallway. And that's all the differences I spotted in the manga. There is a lot of content that seems to maybe be planned to be cut. But with all that being said, if they're going to continue from the Child Emperor storyline next episode, you are in for a treat. If it's well animated, that is. But anyway, thanks for watching this video. There was this many differences today in the manga versus anime. And because I didn't upload last week, apart from the manga versus video, I'm going to be uploading 4 times this week. So please stay tuned. And I'll see you probably, hopefully, in a day's time. Hey, Josephu here. Sorry again. This is the second half of episode 6. I didn't get round to adding this into the previous video, mainly because, well, the fight in the last episode had so much in it that it was really hard to cover both. And even the material after the second half had a lot in it too. So I, put this video together so that I could cover them. But with that being said, the reason why I've continued, and it's because I want to stream. I want to stream during Christmas, and I'd really love to hear what you'd want me to stream, whether that's reactions to anime, stuff you'd want to see my opinion on, Q&A, or honestly just playing through a game that you guys suggest. Although if I had my way, I'd be playing a Dawn of War Ultimate Apocalypse mod for 30 hours, or maybe Tarkov. But in all seriousness, I'm not delusional. One Punch Man isn't going to last forever, and I'm going to have to move on to something else. I can still cover One Punch Man in terms of theories and stuff, but in terms of, seasonal topical content, I'm just not going to have anything here. So I need you guys to comment below what you want to see. Because that's how you grow on YouTube nowadays, is that you cater to the audience you have and expand that audience. Rather than doing content that you genuinely are super passionate about, you want to cater to the people around you. So I'm trying to do a bit of both. So down below, I would love to see some ideas of content I could stream and what other content you would be interested in. Add a load of detail to them, by the way. I will look at them and respond because I'm actually asking you to do something now, so I will interact with you. And also join the Discord because that's the easiest way to contact me. You can just shoot me a DM on Discord if you join the Discord server, so you can get a direct line. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. See you next time.